What up, what up, what up, what up? I wrote this earlier today. I spent a lot of time pondering, thinking, meditating. I'm going to post it in the comment section to be able to read it, but I want to read to you. So I wrote this earlier today. Today's the day where people are voting, and we have such a grave misunderstanding of the structure and the point of government. Quite simply, the point of government is only to protect the individuals from tyranny being mandated orders. As a group of free people, we're here to promote health and well being. Currently, you can wind yourself up in prison because you do not own your own body. Uh, People say they own you and they own what you can do with and to your body, both religious ideas and just blind stupidity, arrogance. It doesn't change the fact that even if someone disagrees with you, we have a separation of church and state, which guarantees that you have the right to do as you please as long as you are not harming another. All right, so with that, this is what I wrote. This is called The People's Revolution, and I'm going to post it below when I'm done. I wrote it today. Here it is. I can't express the pain and fears I feel from the current structures of governments that run the world. Slave kings, binding men to their bidding, absolute pieces of shit, robbing, stealing, raping, imprisoning, while people applaud their corrupt notions. I read the writings of our fathers. They wanted peace, joy, and liberty for all men valuable. Now we live in a time of fear mongering and judgment justified by those that call themselves power. Fear mongering. How do you get the masses to give you their power? You can't create a cataclysm. And then they'll look for a savior. And what they'll do is they'll give away their rights so that someone else can protect them. In the end, all power is corruptible. That's why nobody should be given power over another human. The only purpose of power is to defend all. Okay, and so continuing. We live in a time of fear mongering and judgment justified by those that call themselves power, and the foolish people follow their mandates. Why follow such evil commands? What are we protecting? Whom are we protecting? We let them rob us. We submit to them attacking our people. We allow them to imprison our friends. We don't stand or resist their criminal behaviors because we believe that they have authority. They only have authority because we allow them to do it. We agree with it. They're just people. They have taken away our rights and have taught us to rebel against their authority is illegal, when in fact, we are the law. We are the people. We are the court. Lawlessness is their fear. What is law when it allows a company to sue you for plants, to sue you for living, enslave men for the color of their skin, take away the rights of a human based on their genitals? What the fuck? How does this exist? How is this world so awfully asleep? Our water is poisoned, and we submit to their police of violence. They are protected and excused because they are the government. You can't even sue a police officer because they're just following orders. They're not held liable for their actions because it is the government. And it's a lose-lose because you can't hold anyone accountable. And this is the current structure. Instead of all men being equal, we have dictators who think they own other people. People defend the blue, but the blue isn't a person. The blue is an institution that upholds the laws no matter how criminal or illogical they are. Who kept slaves from leaving? Who forced them to stay? Who made it legal to beat a black man to death? Law did. Women couldn't vote, they didn't have rights. Many times they were told how to dress, and they still are in some ways. Men can show their nipples, but women cannot. Women's nipples are useful, ours are just decorations. You foolish children, rise and shake off your debt, and despair. Reclaim your land, your liberty, your freedoms, your right to defend yourself. Rise and come together. No man is greater than you. Repeat this until you believe it. No man is greater than you. people are not greater because they're on TV. You are valuable and a powerful individual. All are equal in value. Earth, indubitably, is hell. It is not perfect, but we shall not stand idly by while others imprison our children for being entrepreneurs. The only goal of a good government is to help the flow of life for all, to cause equality, and to encourage freedoms of health in body, air, food, and water. No government has any right to steal the work of another so they can give it to someone else. All money given into the system freely must be used for public works. People are not a burden. They deserve the right to live, the right to sleep, the right to create a home for themselves, the right to travel without being interrogated. No one needs a warrant to stop someone from harming another. If you see someone harming someone else, you have the right to stop it. You don't need permission. You don't need permission to stop someone from harming them, no matter what color badge they have, no matter what color outfit, no matter what color uniform. Hypocrisy is defined by judging someone for the very thing you do. Here we have governments trying to take away the right to bear arms, while them, in fact, having stockpiles of arms. Doesn't make sense, does it? All right. Publish your life. Live unashamed. Allow none to judge you. Allow none to imprison you. Resist unmoral arrests. Support unity and healing of the lost and broken. Rise against the machine of death, the enslaver of the minds. That being the dark realm. The master of death, the liar, the deceiver, the one you hear, the one that gives you bad thoughts, the one that tries to get you to harm others, the one who brings division, the divider. We have the ability to vote together to free all men, yet we fight. I write this. Black people, stop taking that stank-ass government money and regain your dignity. White crackers, stop being so fucking stupid. Asians, we all love Asians. Mexicans are a fantastic blessing to America, and much of our greatness is owed to their incredible hard work. Would you do what some of them do? Would you work in 100+ degree weather? Some of you do, and I praise you for your hard work, and you shall keep all your hard-earned finances. What did Jesus say? He goes, to the one who is faithful will be given more. To the one who is not faithful will be taken away from. We live in a system that punishes work and rewards slothfulness. The ghettos don't need fathers because the government becomes their slave daddy who they can vote in. And so much of the issues really just come down to quite simply debt. We're all debtors, physically, monetarily. Everywhere you go, people are in debt. The current system of our financial progression is one of debt, and it's very evil. So a year of jubilee of forgiving all debts is mandatory. Look at our military. Historically good and bad has come through them, though all of you only have heard of the good. Do you know, I said this earlier, thousands of people in Laos have died from the bombs that we dropped in Vietnam and there, and still today people are dying from bombs that we dropped during the Vietnam War. Have you ever heard this? Why is it not talked about? Have you heard about when we raped and destroyed the Filipinos? Nope. How about the experimentations of viruses on the innocent done through the military and the government? Tuberculosis was given to the poor black communities, I believe in Alabama. Tuberculosis. Yep. We broke all contracts with the natives of this land. This is their land if it's anyone's. I plan to go to the native people because this is their land and they need the dignity back. In America, we imprison people. Well, not in America. In Cuba, we imprison people in a communist country so that they will not get a fair trial. We have a base in communist Cuba, which we have an embargo against. I mean, the hypocrisy is so deep. Evil knows no bounds, it has no borders. It will corrupt any and all if it's allowed. Governments must completely be open with all their financial transactions, or they will be abolished. You can't get away with doing dirt if you have to be open with everything. The bitterness in my soul is deep. I'm offended by the stupidity of man. I'm offended completely that humans think they have the legal and moral right to destroy others because of what they do with their own bodies. Who are you to judge them as you are just a man yourself? I wish all to be free. I wish love to be openly accepted, disease to be eradicated. I'm asking people to stand against the oppressor, to no longer justify their violent nature, to do their best to be redeemed and forgive. We have to forgive. Be free, grow plants, drink clean water, live and love well in the open. Why do we have to hide love? For who can justify harming another that has done them no wrong? If your God really hates gay people, then let your God show up and hate them. If your God hates people for making love, let your God of hatred show up. I'm convinced that many of you worship a God of murder, and you don't even know the God of love. The greatest enemy of the people is the theft of their work and the government's printing of debts to buy their elections. I could go into that for a long time. I'm not going to. All right. All men are equal. All are valuable. And truly, the greatest is the servant of all. All it takes is to say no. Say no against unlawful, immoral possession of your work. Say no to their interrogation. Say no to following evil commands. Stop working for the oppressor. Say no. Refuse to give your authority to the violent. Resist the theft of your work. In the Virginia Declaration of Rights, it speaks of government deriving its power through consent, and that taxation, unless chosen to be a part of, is illegal and immoral and irresponsible. Then I said this at the end. Jesus, his kingdom is an eternal kingdom. His reign has no end. The kingdom of heaven will sit with men. All will be transformed. All will be redeemed. And in case you don't know, all means all. I pray for the sake of all in pain that the revolution and redemption of man will come swiftly. I'm hoping that all the things that I have heard in my life will begin to come true, that the power, that the kingdom and the love of heaven will free people from their bondage and their debts. That the kingdom of heaven, a very real place, will begin to dwell inside of us and free us from demons and darkness and bring divine prosperity of health and joy and heavenly bodies. It's going to be interesting. Thank you for listening, and have a great day and evening.